slot on this still. And yeah. And then I'll do I will do a couple Shrek runs, if not maybe just one, because again it's gonna be a pretty short stream, unfortunately, but I do need to get going not very long from now. Nice. That was good. That was a good way to start. Immediately start with a stab. Dude, get over there. And is shaking the tiniest bit there. That was not great. One thing that sucks about this game is if your hand is being shaky, it's kind of hard to aim properly, which is really, 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 really important. Absolute ableist game. Nice. Okay, I was gonna say I need to make sure I get away from him doing that. Before I get knocked out there. I love when my special moves literally do nothing. Good mechanic.
You hold him back, or do you just suck?
Or do you just suck? Griffin's a modest fellow, you could say. Okay, whatever. I also ran like way fucking past him. I need to be really careful about not running too far past him, because if you, for some reason, if you like run into the back area over here, you can activate the cutscene that is supposed to play when you go through the door, because I guess there's like an area where it kind of is supposed to stop you from trying to just teleport right past him and not activating the cutscene, but I don't know. Weird.
I don't know, something about this
Run
obvious trap
actually
just
on
doesn't feel
pace
right.
for something.
This
This game is hard to PB in for me.
You would be wise to turn back.
Tough to get like
Thanks for the heads up, Chrome Dome.
100%, like a
Your wisdom's not
100%
really
solid
my
run.
bag.
Men with dark hearts
Yeah, it's kind of
walk
odd.
within.
And the thing is, I think I could be wrong, and from what I've been
Appreciate your
reading from
concern,
some people
but my own
online
heart's not exactly
who have
neon.
just posted about random glitches they found. It's not really worded very well, because I don't know
Now,
who
assassin,
typed these things down, but I think you might be able to find, like, there might be like a tiny spot somewhere that you can teleport to that you don't even need to bother to do the corner clip. But I don't even know if that's quite correct, or if that's like maybe you have to be doing something specific, like avoiding an enemy, or like getting hit by an enemy and then teleporting during that, or something. Because I know there's like some things, like there's a really good example of like the cutscene, but like there's a cutscene that's supposed to play when you walk in front of this like thing next to the lab boss whenever she spawns or whatever. Like before you fight her, there's this thing that like falls down, and for whatever reason, like I think sometimes it just doesn't activate, and I don't know why exactly that happens. And it might be like depending on whether or not you're trying to do like a weird like a teleport movement or something. I don't really know, because not doing the corner clip could probably save a decent amount of time. Like if you could just do some dumb like couple of button presses and then just teleport next to him, that would obviously be quite a bit faster than going through the corner, like setting all that up and then skipping it that way, unless it took you a really long time to set up just doing the teleport. But Yeah, like doing the corner clip really doesn't take that long at all. So, I don't know.
Looks like I lost the bet.
I haven't,
Think you'd have the guts just to
unfortunately, I don't know, like, the in and outs of everything in this game, because I've been, like, the only person, I know that is working on the game. Yo, anti-hero, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Don't get kicked out of GDQ. I will try my hardest. If I do, then, you know, I'll just go back to full-time college and not stream again. You know, no big deal. Depending on what it is. If it's something stupid, then obviously I won't give a shit, really. But I like GDQ, so it definitely would be cool not to ever get banned from their events. I was trying to use a special layer to kill them sooner, but that works.
A shame you weren't born a paladin, Griffin.
What's up, Jinjo? How's it going, man? What is this? This is Jumper Griffin's story. This is one of the games I'm gonna be running at GDQ.
Sandbag me.
This is based on the Jumper movie,
Hey, don't die me too quick, old
and
man. Kinda
basically
wanna
it's
say
kind
this.
of like a, it's kind of just like a beat 'em up button masher game,
Nice hair, by the way.
but you have the superpower ability to like teleport around and stuff, and that leads to a bunch of funny shenanigans. Like being able to skip through a majority of most levels super easily because you can break out of bounds really easily, and there's no penalty. Like there's nothing that punishes you for breaking out of bounds, so it's pretty hilarious.
You should have run when you had.
Getting knocked down in this fight is slow. This fight went pretty well though. Right? Do it Bonesaw style.
Yes, for the third time. You saw the same mice I have.
Fucking just belt out
Now that the
All-Star
device is
during
working,
Shrek.
I suspect our uncertainty on the matter.
Oh yeah, that was a good split, Jesus.
Short-lived.
That was a lot better than I thought it
Paranoia
was.
is beginning to affect your work. I should have you reported.
Do as your
Can
conscience
I explain the tricks a little bit? Sure. So, right now we're just waiting for a cutscene to end, but essentially, so you have this little crosshair on screen, and you're able to teleport around with it here, like this, if you can see where you're wanting to teleport anyway. And what happens with that is, normally you're only supposed to be able to teleport to certain places, but if you can see out of bounds with your camera, then you can teleport to a lot of places out of bounds, like way further on in a level, because you're able to see a spot that you're able to teleport to from out of bounds. And like basically it's super easy to break your camera out of bounds, so it just makes it like ridiculously easy to bypass a huge amount of all of like the fighting that you have to do, because normally you have to move from like section to section, beating up enemies so that you end up opening up these doors that let you progress through the levels and stuff. But you can just bypass a majority of that and just go to the end of the level like that, for instance, just by teleporting out of bounds and walking to the end of the level. So it's pretty silly But yeah, this game has a lot of like kind of neat little things that you can kind of note as well. This boss fight has some funny stuff, for example. So at the beginning of this boss fight, we have to hit these 5 electric panels, and we have to hit all 5 of them. We sadly can't just hit the 5th one and skip the rest of those, but essentially what happens is the boss will spawn after we hit these 5 panels, but we're not supposed to, here in a second I'll show you something, but we're supposed to hit these 5 panels, so I'm just doing that now. And then I throw a grenade at this 5th panel here, and what happens there is we're not supposed to be able to hit this electric panel before we watch this cutscene. And what happens with that is that hits the boss, and that's not supposed to happen, so she gets like stuck in a weird like phase where she can no longer attack at all. So she's now permanently stun locked. And this is like a 100% consistent trick to use. Like, it's super, super easy to do. And a pretty ridiculous oversight. But, yeah, it's a pretty funny glitch. And what's funny about this is this boss is definitely one of the hardest bosses in the game casually. She has a bunch of, like, stun weapons, and she does a ton of damage. So it's really, really nice that you can just cheese the boss like this. Also, this thankfully we don't take damage during cutscenes, so that enemy doesn't bother us. He will bug us in just a second here. If we can beat up on him to the side here, he'll end up getting hit and die while we're still beating up on the boss because of the way like damage works in this game. It's kind of like you do damage in sort of like an area rather than like directly where you're facing, for example. It's kind of weird, but it's just because of the way the teleporting battle mechanics work, it's kind of dumb. Yeah, she takes a while to take down, so that's why it also is just kind of ridiculous, because she's just really, really tough normally, so being able to kill her without... Nice, that was so quick, holy shit. This is really good pace. Is really helpful. So we just clipped out of that box in the corner there, and that's really, really that's probably the toughest clip to do in the game, so that was really nice and fast, so that's cool. This next level here, we're gonna be picking up the most OP weapon in the game, so we're gonna go out of our way a little bit to do that, but it's gonna be totally worth it. First we have to clip out of bounds there, and then we need to teleport to the floor there so we can teleport over to the staircase. And then we're gonna clip through this door and then pick up the flamethrower. We're gonna angle ourselves through that wall there, and then we just teleport to the field outside, and then we just need to teleport to the end of the level here. There we go. My hand's a little shaky, sorry. But basically, so what happens with this weapon is the flamethrower is great, because normally it's a pretty powerful weapon as it is, but what's funny is whenever you start the flamethrower by pressing A or B, it does initial burn damage, and what happens with that is you can just mash A or B over and over again to keep doing that burn damage over and over again. So basically it goes from being like still like a really good weapon to being like an absolutely stupidly overpowered weapon, just because all you're doing is mashing and doing that initial burn damage. So it makes every single boss and enemy die ridiculously quickly. Like for instance here, it was a little slow there. I didn't hit him the whole time there, but yeah, you can see all of his health got drained in pretty much less than 2 seconds. So it's pretty hilarious. Alright, so gonna kill the rest of these enemies here, and then we just need to kill the last boss. I'm gonna try and focus a little bit here. Sorry, we're on really good pace.
This time you're not going anywhere.
I'm not the one who's always right.
Oh man, I got hit there. That was kind of slow.
I warned you, Griffin. Now we are done.
Are you jealous, Roland? Is that what this is all about? That you really just want to jump? Come on then. Ever been here before, Roland? People drive like maniacs.
People drive like maniacs.
Anywhere you have been, Griffin, I found you.
this is gonna hurt you way more than it does me. I think we're gonna need more speakers. I know for you.
Like your parents.
Split a tiny bit early there, I think, but that is definitely a 14:51. Let's go. Sub 15 right before GDQ, boys. That's good, because my other PB, I was bitching a lot, so. Good run. Yeah, that was record right there. That was a really good run. That was really solid. I'm trying to even think about what mistakes I made. I mean, I made a couple of tiny mistakes, but that was pretty good. Shoutouts to this awesome sound glitch that happens whenever you start another file, whenever you have started a different file before. Yeah, so PBing a GDQ is pretty out of the question, I think. Just gonna put that out there. But that's fine. That was a really, really good run. Yo, what's up, Rocket? Congrats on your run, dude. Yo, Grano, thank you for the 125 bits. Jesus, I appreciate that. It's going well, though, man. I just got record in this category, which is really nice because I'm running this at GDQ. And I'm flying to GDQ in, like, 5 hours, so I was just doing, like, some prep runs right before I go. But, yeah. Dude, yesterday I was playing like shit too, so I'm really glad that I got a record today. That was nice. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Rocket. I appreciate that, man. You never want to run up again. Yeah, no, I get that. Up is like a weird run. I think if there was like some cool strats found or something, then up would be a lot more interesting. It's just really boring. I definitely agree. Right, dude. I mean, God, it's gonna be really stupidly hard to beat my PB. Like, what's my sum of best here? 10 seconds better. Yeah, okay. I mean, my sum of best might be like, it probably would be better if I did splits for every level. So it could probably be a couple seconds better, like realistically. But yeah, 10 seconds within sum of best is pretty dank. I will say I'm pretty happy with this run. So that's cool. I didn't expect this, honestly, so I'm really happy.